By the end of this video, you guys are going to know how to make absolutely massive bone blossoms, easily allowing you to get trillions of shekels. And I'm going to be giving away another 1 trillion valued honeysuckles. Now at the end of the video, I roll the winners for the giveaway from my last video, and you'll see it is incredibly tough for me to actually get in contact with you guys and give you the honeysuckle. So instead, once again, you have to like and subscribe and comment your Roblox username along with the special keyword found somewhere in this video, but then also send me a friend request. My username is loopedmuffinrbx, so we can hopefully arrange a time to actually give you the honeysuckle. And then once they're given out, I will post the giveaway proof for each video's giveaway in the reply of each Twitter post for the actual video. If you guys have seen any of my Pet Sim videos, you guys know I love giving away as many things as I can. I've given away literally over 1,000 huge pets in Pet Sim, and I would love to do a ton of giveaways in this game. It's just really tough to actually give you guys the items. So if you have any better ideas on how I can distribute all the giveaway prizes, please let me know down in the comments. I want to really find an easier way to do this. All right, so today we finally were able to get the Bone Blossom. If you had completed all of the quests up to today, you would have now finally received your first Bone Blossom seed. And it looks like if you are able to complete all the quests again, you can actually get one more Bone Blossom seed before this event is over. So I'm definitely going to be doing that to get another Bone Blossom. Now that you have the Bone Blossom, which is supposedly the best seed in the game currently, you're going to want to use it to its maximum potential. So I'm going to go over the strategy I'm going to be using to get massive bone blossoms. Then we're hopefully going to get a massive one myself that I can mutate and see what the final value is. Now you may have seen this strategy online, but there's a little more to it than a lot of people have explained. So obviously the size of the bone blossoms are going to be the most important thing to actually make them worth a ton. So in order to make sure we get insanely sized bone blossoms, we're going to first make sure we're using our basic, advanced, godly, and master sprinklers. Now, if you've been AFKing with the macros that I've shown you in the past, you should easily have quite a few extra master sprinklers. So this should not be a huge issue for you. Now, the next thing you need are going to be pets that are going to increase the size of your fruit. Now, obviously, moon-cats are going to be the best pet for this. However, I know that some of you don't have the moon-cat, and believe it or not, I don't see a lot of people talking about this. You can substitute the moon-cat for the orange tabby. Of course, it sleeps for 5 seconds less, which does make it a little tougher to time everything, and it has a slightly longer cooldown and a slightly smaller radius. However, it provides the same growth effect. So if you do not have a ton of moon-cats, go ahead and get some orange tabbies. There are 33% chance from the rare egg, so it's honestly not that hard to get at all. So you need to fill up every single pet slot that you have with mooncats or tabbies except for one, and then go ahead and get yourself a triceratops, because this is going to make using the sprinklers and using the sprinkler method a lot easier. If you don't already have one, it's not too hard to get from the dino eggs. If you're struggling with getting dino eggs, go check out my last video. Went over a pretty good method to actually get a ton of dino eggs for this event, but you need a triceratops. This is going to be the most important thing to make sure you're doing everything efficiently. Now, to make this method work the absolute best, you want to limit the amount of plants you have on your base to 3 at a max, and hopefully only 1 being the bone blossom. But the less plants you have, the better it's going to be. Personally, I have my rainbow peach tree, which has been with me forever and it has a ton of rare mutations. And then I have my bone blossom. That is literally it. All right, so once you have your sprinklers, your cats, whether they're moon cats or orange tabbies, as well as your single triceratops, which is honestly not a hard pet to hatch at all. And keep in mind, pet gifting is now back, believe it or not. So getting these pets is a lot easier now too. If you have some friends who are willing to let you borrow these pets, then definitely go ahead and do that. But with all that stuff, you are finally ready to start doing the actual strategy. So when it comes to the strategy of getting a massive bone blossom, it is a lot of luck, but there are a few things you want to do. So when the moon cats eventually sleep, as you can see, there's one sleeping here. In this radius, they have a size bonus. However, it takes them about 68 seconds to actually start napping. So you want to time the nap with exactly when the triceratops is going to be ramming into your bone blossom plant. So that means when the triceratops ability cooldown is at around 1 minute and 10 seconds. And if you're using orange tabbies instead, around 1 minute and 30 seconds, because the cooldown is a bit longer, then you're going to want to place down all of your moon cats. And then hopefully you can have a few moon cats sleeping in the same spot. Then you're simply just going to want to travel the bone blossom over to wherever those moon cats are sleeping and just pray that the triceratops hits the bone blossom before the moon cats wake up. All that stuff is what you basically have to do to get a big bone blossom. But although there is luck when it comes to the actual moon cat sleeping and the triceratops hitting the plant, there's also an added extra layer of luck when it comes to the bone blossom itself. If you didn't already know, plants can have a chance of being huge, meaning they have a significant weight bonus, which is obviously going to be really important for getting expensive bone blossoms. And the bone blossom in particular has a chance of 0.5% And honestly, that is not horrible, especially because it's a multi-yield crop, but that just means you have a 1 out of 200 chance that each one of these bone blossom plants also turn huge. So to get some of the most valuable bone blossoms possible, you are going to want to not only have your triceratops hit the plant at the same time as your mooncats are sleeping on it, but you then also want to hit that 1 out of 200 chance to get a massive bone blossom. Now, quick side note, before you go ahead and actually move the bone blossom when you're doing the strategy, you need to go ahead and travel any growing blossoms on it or just collect any blossoms on it. Now, when you're using your shovel to actually destroy the growing blossoms, because you can't collect them using E, just be very, very careful not to actually click on your bone blossom plant. You're going to be extremely mad at yourself if you delete your only bone blossom seed completely. Just make sure you do not click your bone blossom tree. I'm always very, very careful when I'm doing this to not actually hit the tree, but to only delete the fruits itself. Also, obviously you want to find an optimal position to place down the bone blossom while you're doing the strategy. But when you place down a master sprinkler, obviously it lasts for 10 minutes, so make the most out of it. Try to place the bone blossom in the radius of the same master sprinkler every single time until it runs out, so you don't have to keep placing down new master sprinklers. So even if that means only staying in one of the sleeping cat radiuses instead of staying in like 2 or 3, I think it's just much more worth it to conserve your master sprinklers and make more use out of these than to always ensure you're in the best mooncat location, because the master sprinkler is really going to help you a lot as well and is obviously a lot harder to get. All right, so let's go ahead and test this method out myself. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up all of my mooncats, and then we're going to keep an eye on the cooldown. Once it reaches 1 minute and 15 seconds or so, we're going to go and place down all of our mooncats at the same time. All right, it's almost there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start placing them all down. Now we're going to clear our tree and then just wait for the cats to start napping. Now I'm going to just sit here with the bone blossom already traveled, and then once they start napping, I'll obviously find the best spot to put it in and then spam the sprinklers. Okay, there's only one cat over here, but we already have some sprinklers down, so we're just going to place this nearby and then spam the other ones before it rams. I was a little late with the mooncat placements, meaning I wasn't able to place all my sprinklers down in time, so I think I'm going to have to wait a couple more seconds, 2 or 3 more seconds before placing my mooncat. So yeah, when the triceratops cooldown is at 1 minute and 15 seconds to 1 minute and 20 seconds, that's probably when I would do the mooncats. And then if you're using orange tabbies, I would probably wait till the triceratops cooldown is at around 1 minute and 35 seconds to 1 minute and 40 seconds and place them down in between that window. The keyword for today's honeysuckle giveaway is bone with a capital B. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this strategy to the test and see how long it takes to get a pretty good sized bone blossom. Alright, so we spent around 2 hours actually trying to get a really good sized bone blossom, and the best one I was able to get was a 25 million shekel base value blossom, and it's around 84 kg, which is pretty good for a bone blossom. Now obviously I didn't get a huge bone blossom, which is a 1 out of 200 chance, but this bone blossom itself I think has a ton of potential. Let's go ahead and plug it into the grow garden calculator. So a bone blossom with an 84 kg is around 25 million base value, and then if we go ahead and put on some easily obtainable mutations like rainbow, shocked, frozen, we're looking at around 239 billion, which is really good for obviously not a really large bone blossom. But if we put on all of our mutations here, it has a potential of being 1.6 trillion. Now that is kind of insane. Obviously getting all of these mutations would take a super long time, but honestly with the amount of pets in the game, it's not incredibly unobtainable. I'm already starting with my butterfly trying to get it rainbow, and then I'll use all the other mutation pets. And then also I want to get my hands on a T-Rex because I have this rainbow peach tree that has been sitting in my garden since I started playing this game. So it has a ton of rare mutations that the T-Rex can transfer over to the bone blossoms. So getting the bone blossom to over 1 trillion value is not even remotely out of the realm of possibility. And honestly, I'll probably keep going and trying to get a huge bone blossom, the 1 out of 200 chance, which could easily be worth multiple of trillions. So yeah, that is the best strategy currently in the game to get yourself a massive bone blossom. Just keep going at it. Like I said, there is quite a bit of luck involved, but if you do hit that 1 out of 200 huge chance or get a base value of around 30 million, because that is probably towards the upper end of what you can get without getting the huge chance to activate, then you can still make a ton of shekels. With that all being said, like always, if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget that once I reach 45,000 subscribers, we'll be hosting a massive 50+ rainbow huge pet giveaway on Pets of 99. I would love to do a special giveaway on Grow Garden. Let me know what you guys would want me to give away. All right, let's go ahead and roll the winners from last video's giveaway. I've already spent some time trying to find some winners, but each person I check is literally unjoinable. And then I'm assuming even if I join, you're probably going to be AFK. So I'm going to roll 3 names here. Each person I will send a friend request to, and you have 2 days to accept the friend request. Send me a chat message on Roblox so I can arrange actually giving you the honeysuckle before I go ahead and re-roll your name. And once I give out all 3 honeysuckles, the proof will be shown on Twitter. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. So with that being said, congratulations to Pink Princess, congratulations to Lucas, and congratulations to Ninja. I went ahead and sent the 3 of you a friend request. Make sure to message me within the next couple of days to actually claim your honeysuckle. With that being said, if you guys have any better suggestions on how I can distribute giveaway winnings, please let me know down in the comments. PetSim makes it so easy with the mailbox feature, but every other game is a lot more difficult.